Something is wrong, right?
Yeah, it looks like the internet.
Hold on a second, guys.
It's still streaming, but it's not connected.
Yeah, I knew something was wrong because it dropped. I was watching the count in here, and it just kind of like dropped. Are you guys still there? Check, check, check. Anybody there? Anyways. So, anyways. Oh. I think we're back. Yep, I think we are back. We're back on. I think we're back on, bud.
Okay.
Yep, we're here. That was weird. And anyways, so I just noticed that the people that are watching, the count just dropped to 0, and I was like, that's weird.
Yeah,
So,
kicked us off.
yeah, it did kick us off. So anyways, going back to the football games. I like all 6 games opposite of a friend of mine. We were like talking shit. And I really kind of like, I don't know how Seattle's going to stay in the game against Frisco. I just don't. They have ran the ball good, but the last 4 weeks been a top 5 running offense. But it's just they got PJ Walker back, but they're against the best running defense, and they are the worst rushing defense. I think Frisco wins it by a big amount. So I'm going to go with Frisco. I'm going to go with. I don't know if Dallas wins or not. If you can get 3 in the game, I'm going with Cowboys. The other game that we have, Minnesota and the Giants. I mean, you heard me rag on the Giants all year long. So, oh wow, it's Friday the 13th. Oh, that's good. Maybe somebody will kill me today. Anyways, I like the Giants plus the 3. I mean, fuck, you'll never. I've been ripping on the Vikings all year. I'm just like, so if they win the Vikings, what they have to play Frisco? Yeah, good luck. Good luck. I'll play poker tonight, Steven. Why not, man? It's all good. I don't care. I mean, maybe not. I mean, last night I wanted to play. The game was so good, and I was just so tired. My brain just wasn't right. And I could have gotten the game and won some money, but I elected to skip it. But anyways, yeah, so I'm going with the Giants, the Frisco, and I don't know. I want to take I really thought Dallas was going to be a cakewalk over Tampa Bay. But, yeah, Brandon, I know it crashed. I saw it crash. I told Danny it crashed. And he's like, oh, let me look. So, yeah, I watched it crash. And I think, I don't know. I think Dallas and Tampa Bay is going to be an under game. I'll probably take +3 with Tampa. Get 3. I don't know, man. I mean, that game just has to be an under game. It was 19-3 first game. I mean, Tampa never scores over 17, ever. Ever, ever, ever. I mean, how do you not like the under in that game either? So I'm going with Giants, 49ers, Jacksonville, pick of the week, Jacksonville. Under in the Niners game, or not the Niners game, not under in the Niners game, under in the Cowboys game, under in the Dolphins game. I mean, this line opened 45, went to 47. I don't know how the Dolphins are scoring more than 14. It would have to go 37-14 or 35-14 to put it over. 33-14 would be a tie. I don't know. I don't know how fucking Vikings will score more than 14 points. I really don't. And what else game are we missing? We're missing one. We got the Chargers, Jacksonville. What's the other one in the AFC? Buffalo. With the Buffalo game. Oh, so yeah, Cincinnati and Baltimore. Yeah, we talked about them all. We have 6 games this weekend. Yeah. Yeah, that's it. So, yeah, Cincinnati, Baltimore. I like the under. I like the plus 10. I'm making one small bet this weekend on Jacksonville. That's it. That'll be the only bet I make this weekend, probably for $1,000 tops. And that's it. So I think we've covered football. Oh, my Lakers, they fucking found a way to have a 3-point lead with 6 seconds to go last night and not foul Luka on the inbound pass and let the fucker shoot a 3 to put it into overtime, and the Lakers lose in double overtime. A game they really, really needed to win. I'm up pretty big in sports this year, Brandon. I don't bet. Like I told you guys, I quit betting. So when I say I quit betting, that means I'd never bet over 1,000 a game. And I might bet a couple games, not even a couple games. Yeah, maybe 2 games a week, tops. And I won like 50,000 laying off of my, when I had a shot to win the Survivor, even though I didn't win it. And then I think I'm up about, maybe I'm up 3,000 for the year. Maybe. I don't really pay attention. I don't bet much, I do like betting the playoffs. I usually bet every game for $1,000 for fun. The last 2 years, but I don't know if I'll do that this year. I mean, it's just, the one thing about the Viking game, Tyler, is everybody's on the Giants. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I was hoping the line would open 3.5. It opened 3. The books are afraid to move this off of 3. But I don't know one person that's betting the Vikings, and you can't really blame them. They're minus 19-point differential, the worst team to ever make the playoffs. There's never been a team with a minus point differential make the playoffs, let alone a minus 19. They're a 13-win team that's minus 19-point differential. It's just absurd. You know what I'm saying? No, I don't bet any basketball, but I bet 3 NBA games this year. I'm 1-2. I was going to bet last night the Lakers. I would have lost that. And the 2 that I lost were both because it went to overtime, or I would have won both of those. So, the NBA, you got to pick your spots. I really thought I was going to the hockey game, so I forgot to bet it. And I knew the Lakers had 4 days off. It was just a great spot getting 3 at home. I knew they were going to play really, 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 really good. Russell Westbrook had the best game of his LA career. He's obviously 6th man of the year. He's playing amazing. And yeah, my love of the Lakers. I'm a diehard Laker fan. I've always been a big LeBron fan, even when he wasn't with the Lakers. I got real turned off on him because of his political views that he knows nothing about. When he attacked those police officers, and I got really pissed about it. So I kind of really lost respect for LeBron. Yeah, I mean, LeBron, when he makes 3 3-pointers a game, the Lakers win. If he doesn't, they lose. He went 9 of 24 last night, went 0 for 4 from 3, and they lost. You're right. They should have won the game easily. Oh, let's go into that, Brandon. I'm glad you brought that up. Okay, so I saw a tweet from my good friend, Nick Bertucci. Oh, on the Nick Bertucci podcast on the 16th and 17th, Robbie Lay Lewis is going to tell the truth. Really? What's she going to say? She cheated? No, she ain't going to say that. So, yeah, exactly, Steven. So that's where I lost respect for him. So Nick, who's my good friend, but I will call him out when you tell me one thing. I don't like to talk about our private messaging, but when this all happened, the hustler was forced to spend like $300,000, to investigate, what was going on, whether there was cheating, whether there was any way she cheated. And when it was all said and done, before it was released that they have no conclusive evidence any cheating was ever done, he said that it was still 50-50. And he goes back and forth on it. He's like, I kind of lean cheat, then I don't. He goes, I'm in the middle. I really don't know. We really don't know, But he says to me, whether she cheated or not, she's a sociopath, lying piece of shit. I hate her guts. But now he's going to have her on the show. Like, I think she's a sociopath, lying piece of shit. I would never have her on the show. Okay, that's just the difference. And that's my opinion. Now, she could be the nicest person in the world. I saw somebody that lied and 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 lied more. Like, if you're innocent, you just tell the truth. Like, I always tell the truth. You know what I'm saying? Why did she have to just consistently lie? They're all sellouts. Correct, buddy. They're all sellouts. So, I'm going to call out my good friend Nick, and he is my good friend. And I'll probably get a text from him later saying, why did I call him out? But then maybe I won't. Maybe he'll say, you're right, Mike. You should call me out. But, don't tell me one thing and act some way to the... He was so mad how Joey Ingram turned that into a circus to try and hurt his business, and how she acted on the Joey Ingram. He hated this woman. And now he's going to have her on the show. Really, Nick? Have a backbone. For what reason? This thing had completely gone. Nobody's talking about it. There's only one reason you want her on the show, and that's to get fucking views and clicks. Calling you out, Nick, like it is, man. It's, I love you. I always love you. I'll always love you to death, Nick. But, Hustler Show's doing well. I mean, you guys are crushing it. I'm happy. You and Brian are two of my close friends. I fucking can't wait to stream with you guys on 24th through the 27th. We're going to have a good time. I'm looking forward to it. But don't tell me one thing and then do another, because that is selling out. And it's selling out for what? A few extra clicks? Is that important to you? Really? Always had you at a high moral guy. You were always a guy that stuck with your morals, And that's why we're such good friends, because I always respect people who stick with their morals. They tell it like it is, and they stick their ground, But don't be a sellout. I mean, why else were you? There's no other reason to have her on a show, to tell the truth. Okay, Nick, the truth is, I didn't do anything. I was just an amateur poker player that thought that Jack High was good here because I had blockers. Yeah, and I'm going to lie. And we could have not. Well, would have not. We both would have not. I would have not called you out for it. Yeah, would have not. Wouldn't not. Whatever the fuck it was. Wouldn't not. I'm sorry, just tell it like it is. Yeah, Dave, the Bengals, I got them to win the Super Bowl, but man, losing another offensive lineman really hurts. I believe that they're the only team that could run the ball in the AFC. They have the best defense of the three teams. Their quarterback is just as good in Joe Burrow. They got the best wideouts overall. Now, Stephon Diggs might be better, but overall, between all the wideouts, Cincinnati's the most complete team. But the games are won in the trenches. So, man, losing that big offensive lineman in Week 18 is huge. Now, if they could get past this week, if they can get the offensive lineman back the following week, I still have Cincinnati going to the Super Bowl and winning it all. So we'll see what happens there. Yeah, so, wouldn't not. Back to Robbie Lewis, listen, I could have her on my show, and she could tell me, and I can ask her all these questions, and my ratings will go up, but I don't believe one thing she says. So I don't need uh, to have somebody on my show that just is I know is a compulsive liar. And listen, maybe she's a decent person, but if she could come on the show, if she would ever go public and why she lied about A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, and M. We haven't got to O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V anymore, W, X, Y, and Z. But I don't, it's like Haralabus said, the greatest fucking thing he ever said in the history of radio or podcasting. What was harder, cheating with the jack forehand or beating the polygraph test? That was just absolutely one of the most priceless things I've ever heard from Haralabus. And yeah. So, anyways, that's my thoughts on that. I just think what all of a sudden my good friend Nick has changed his mind from 50-50 to and I hate her and she's a compulsive sociopath liar and do anything for fucking clicks to let's have her on my podcast and let her give me some clicks. Really? Come on, man, Nick. I'm gonna call you out. I love you. We're always gonna be close friends, Nick. I love you to death and one of my favorite people in the world. But I'm gonna have to get you. I'm gonna have to hit you up on this one, buddy. Sorry. That's it. No, I don't got no info on the Jack 4. Listen, I know the extent of the investigation, and I knew weeks before it was revealed that there's nothing they could find out about the hand. There's just not, I just, oh, come on, Nick. You told me straight out you couldn't stand her. You told me straight out that you thought she was a sociopath and that she just, come on, Nick. Just telling it like it is. I love you to death, But, I mean, what now she's your friend, your good friend? Come on. Come on, buddy. I love you. But, I don't know. Yeah, maybe I should have called you first. I was just pissed off when I saw that on the fucking when I woke up today. But I don't know, man. It is what it is, I just wish, you could follow what you said, Well, I still love you, I'm sorry. Sorry you're mad at me. But I got so mad that I was just like, really? You're really going to have this person on your show? I always have you. You're the person that always, followed your backbone and you always held your own, But Nick doesn't lie. He's just, Nick's a good guy, man, Oh, you got her to admit a lot. Okay, well, that's good. So, I guess that kind of changes everything. So, we'll see what happens. All right, good, Mick. See, I always said, like I said, you got your backbone. You're a good person. I love you to death. I should have called you. So that'll be interesting. The show should be interesting, guys. So, yeah.
Does he want to talk about it?
If you want, you can call in the show and we could talk about it, or we can just wait till people listen to your show on Monday. So I don't want to step on your thing, but I was just, I got real upset because I was just trying to figure out what could have changed from the last time we talked, to all of a sudden she's going to admit a lot of stuff. Like, what's she going to really admit? That she cheated? She's never going to admit that. So that she lied. We all know that she lied like 10 different times. Anyways, yeah, I should have probably called you. We're pretty close friends. I should have called you first, but I was just so mad. I was just like, I know. I didn't think it was. I'm not going to call you out as a bad person. I'm going to call you out and tell you how much I love you, which I do, and how much I care about you as a friend, which I do. But I also, felt like when I saw that you were going out of your way for clicks, because I didn't think that. Why she changed her story and why, and she meant, okay, that's fair. Okay, so if you see what Nick just said, then that should be an interesting show on Monday. So I should have given Nick the benefit of the doubt instead of calling him out. He's right. I just didn't think that she could really change much. So I figured that I would have found that out. So that's true, Nick. You're right. I apologize. If you want, you can call me up and yell at me. But as I was outing you, I was also telling everybody how much I love you and how much of a stand-up guy you are. And I guess you're right. I should have called you, but I assumed that before I did that. She admits why she lied. Okay, great. That's awesome to hear. So, listen, I think you should all tune in to the Nick's show on Monday. I told you, like I said, he's a stand-up guy, and so that is very interesting news. That's why he's right. Maybe I should have called him before I did that. And then maybe I wouldn't have sounded like an idiot. I was just thinking to myself, well, I just knew how much you couldn't stand the way she was trying to get attention on all the shows and stuff, and it cost you so much aggravation that all of a sudden, that she was going to be on your show, and what was she going to say? And so I got kind of, how I am. I get impulsive. So I'm not flip-flopping. I'm just, listen. Nick's my good friend. Did you hear me one time say one thing bad about Nick on here on the show? Have you ever heard me say one thing bad about here on the show, you guys, about Nick? Ever. Ever. I never, But when I saw something that I thought was, wow, that's pretty opposite of what he tells me, and so I took it and then kind of ran with it, and so I was kind of, I take things to heart, and Nick knows I take things to heart. And so I kind of took it personal. I'm like, come on, Nick, man, really? What's she ever gonna say that'll change that? But you know what? We're gonna take some phone calls. Nick, why don't you give me a call? Why don't you talk about, and you can talk about what you're gonna talk about on the show, on your show. And I think that's we're gonna go to phone calls now, and we're gonna I'm gonna have Nick call in, and we could talk about a preview for his podcast, what's coming up. So let's go to our phone calls right now.
The Mouthpiece.
If you'd like to take part in our phone call segment, you can give us a call at 702-329-0480. And if you're a snowflake or a pussy and you don't want to talk to me, you can email me at mouthpiecepodcast@gmail.com. Also, follow me at the Mouth Matiso on Twitter for times that our call-in segment will be live. All right, 702-329-0480. And give us a call, and we'll talk about whatever you want. Danny, go get me my phone in my room. Can you do that? 702-329-0480. Oh, welcome to the Mouthpiece. This is Mike. Yo, yo, yo. Welcome to the Mouthpiece. Hello. Yo.
Mike, it's
What's up?
so driver.
What are you doing,
Sorry,
bud? It's all good,
got
man.
messed up. Yeah, hearing you backtrack on the Bengals, bro. I can't believe
Well,
it.
it's the loss. No, bro. I'm all in on the Bengals, but we lost another offensive lineman, bro, last week.
I hear you, but Burrow is so good.
Bro, that's what we heard. That's what we heard in the Super Bowl. Mahomes is so good. There's no way Tampa's going to win. And I screamed, it doesn't matter how good he is. If you don't have an offensive line, you can't throw the ball. The guy ran for 456 yards trying to run away from the Tampa Bay defenders. Burrow is not a mobile quarterback. He can't run for 456 yards. If that offensive line ain't healthy, we're in trouble, buddy.
All right, well, how about this for a thought experiment? Would you rather have Huntley at quarterback with the 5 best offensive linemen, or Joe Burrow at quarterback with 3 guys and then two second stringers?
Honestly, I think the Bengals
come on.
we're going to win. I'm not worried about are we winning.
Yeah,
are we winning
I
by
know.
10 points? That's what we're here.
Yeah, I think they are, because if you watch last week's game, which I did,
Yeah.
because I had daily fantasy shit because I wasn't over the Super Bowl. I got robbed in my fantasy league, but I did and I had Burrow, and they dropped a lot of balls right in their hands, and you have to. And I know Jamar Chase is that's his MO, to drop balls right in his hands, and even T. Higgins. But you just got to assume that can't happen again.
Yeah. But you know what? You're right. But there's a lot of drops, a lot of mistakes. Cincinnati has not played a complete game. I think one time this year they have. They keep playing a good first half, bad second half, bad first half, good second halves.
Yeah, but if you add up 8 straight wins at a half, that counts as 4.
I'm all in on the Bengals winning the Super Bowl, okay? I'm all in on the Bengals winning the Super Bowl. We lost a second offensive lineman, okay? This is huge, okay? This guy here was, what was it, the starting right tackle? The one we lost this last week?
Well, the left guard, which is the one you worry, which is the blind side?
We're going to take Nick. We're going to do it now.
Yeah. What's that?
The left guard or tackle? Which one's the blind side?
The left tackle. Yeah.
Yeah. So right guard. Come on, man. I don't know any. I'm learning about this on the spot, and that sounds like a good guy to lose out on the offensive line, right guard. But not to say that, no, they need all of them for sure.
Listen, I'm gonna. I got to get off the phone real quick. I have to get Nick on the show real quick, and then I'll get.
Yeah,
back
man. You're the man. Don't stress out, bro.
Yeah.
You survived prison, baby. You're the man.
All right.
Wait.
Here, call Nick. Give Nick a call. Hold on one second. We're just gonna get Nick on here real quick. My buddy here, and want to just talk to Nick about. He's right. I should have called before I got real mad, but I get very upset sometimes. I love, like I told you, you'll never hear me say one thing bad about Nick Vertucci. You guys know that if you listen to the show, what I think about him. So we'll let him on here and just talk about it.
Mike.
All right, well, welcome to the show, buddy. Nick.
Hey, what's going on, Mike?
You're on the Mouthpiece. What's up, my man?
Oh, not much, man. I wanted to call in and, at least chat with you about this. I think there's a couple things that were a little overzealous, but I understand your point. I never, I think the words I hate, sociopath, I think we could really kind of settle in on the fact that I didn't care. This is what we talked about. I didn't care for Robbie leaning into this.
Right.
I didn't care for the story changing 100 times.
Right.
And I didn't care for the antics. And you're right. I didn't care for Joey's podcast. No beef with Joey, but I don't care for ruining people's reputations and starting like big conspiracy theories and going 12 hours just for clicks.
Yeah.
This is a little different.
Okay.
I do a podcast. People do want to hear from Robbie. I will tell you that I wasn't a dick to her, nor would I be a dick to anyone that came on my show. I was very kind to her.
Right.
We had a good conversation, but she did admit to changing her story. And why? Because that was one of my big problems with her is she would go on shows and say one thing and then go on and say another thing and then act manic. And she was causing me a lot of issues. And
I mean, it was really bad for you. It was horrible, like what you put
I was
through,
really pissed off. But to say I hate her and like all this stuff, it's just an overstretch. And so that's why I'm calling you because, let's put it this way, Mike. You and I are friends. You said that a million times already. Yeah. I would just think you'd call me first before putting me on blast.
I should have.
Hearing what I said, just told you now.
Yeah.
I don't want to give away what Robbie admitted to, but she admitted to a couple things about the personal relationships.
Okay.
She admitted to changing her story about Jack 3, then just, playing the man and all this. And, I held her to the fire and She explained why she did it. You guys can all determine if you believe it.
Right.
I don't bring people on my show and land blast them and bring 10 other people on to convict and accuse somebody because I'm a innocent until proven guilty guy to the very end.
Well,
I talk about how I don't care for how Garrett's my friend.
Right.
And I talk about how I do not care for how he handled this.
Yeah.
And I explain why I don't care for how he handled this. And I also tell Robbie the same things.
Right.
You know, she went on shows and leaned into this and didn't do herself any justice and caused everyone a bunch of grief by doing it. At the same time, if she is innocent and had to take this freight train, maybe we weren't in her shoes to know how she would handle it. And she explained that. She explained how she would go on a show one day, being in a good place, getting a lot of support, and the next day having people inbox her, she's a cheating cunt.
Right.
And would come on the show and be really upset and act manic and like act pissed off and was all over the place. But again, until you're in somebody's shoes, it's hard to, well, you know, it's hard to put yourself there, just like I went through a lot of shit with this. So again, I know you're a good guy. You're my friend regardless.
Absolutely.
You're only one of the guys on the planet that will just take, ownership of something immediately. You don't, whatever. So we're good. But I just,
listen, I woke up and I looked at my Twitter feed and I literally 5 minutes before we're doing the podcast and I see this and I'm just like, what? And then I just said, well, I'm going to get out there and I'm going to tell them what I think about it. And that was the wrong approach. I should have called you, of course. And because I know you've always been honest with me on the whole situation and we've talked about everything in private. So.
I'm not leaning into Robbie for clicks. Like, let me be honest. It's a great fucking show, a podcast that I put together. It's going to get a ton of views, and the live show is going to get a ton. I don't hate that. I don't have anything wrong with that, but I'm not going to do that. My point is, I don't mind. Look, you do a podcast. Do you want more views, clicks, and subscriptions?
Yeah, but I like to keep it real. I mean, like I've admitted, like when the whole,
but not at anybody's expense.
Right.
That's the difference, Mike.
Like if you go back,
I'm not going to bring.
Right.
I'm not going to bring Robbie on or anyone else on at their expense and fuck them over just for clicks for, 1 hour or 12 hours just to talk about it. And, and to let you and 10 other people come on and talk shit about someone's reputation just because everyone likes the TMZ type of show.
Yeah.
I'm not going to do that.
I'll go even back further because I admit things like when the Mike Postel cheating scandal happened, right? And I got Postel on my show, right? I wanted Postel on my show at the time for not only views, but for also, trying to get him to out himself. And so I understand that. And even when I did that, I was kind of a little bit like mad at myself. Like, should I have had him on? Should I have asked him more questions or whatever? I just wanted to, you to clear it. I don't want it to be where you want to just, have somebody on for clicks and views, if you really think opposite of somebody. But, listen, I'll listen to the show.
Well, I want to be clear, Mike. I want to be clear on one point, and I get it. And I like, dude, you got one of the purest hearts. I can't even stay mad at you, even though I wanted to fucking strangle you when I seen your shit. But I will just tell you this: I don't hate Robbie.
Okay.
I don't hate Garrett. Let me explain.
Yeah, I know that.
I dislike what Robbie did after. I dislike what people like the influencers were doing after.
So did I.
I dislike the way she leaned into it. I dislike the way she changed her story 15 times.
Right.
I told her that. But
Right.
I don't hate Robbie as a person.
Well, you don't hate anybody. You don't really hate anybody as a person.
No.
I mean, neither do I.
I don't dislike Garrett. I don't dislike Garrett, but I'm the first person to say, I think, even though I'm not in his shoes, and even though I wasn't there feeling what he felt, I don't like the way he handled it. Now, after he caught his breath, I still don't like the way he handled it and the things he says and does. It's almost like he's tone deaf. But I like him, and I don't hate him, and I feel for him as a human going through this the same as her. Let's look at it this way. If Robbie's innocent, it sucked what she went through.
Correct.
If Garrett's right but has no proof, it sucks what he's going through.
Correct.
I still stand by that. So when you put up a post and say, I hated her and she's this and that. It is not true. I hated what was happening and how these people were behaving.
That's true. You never said you hated her as a person. You hated the way. Well, I mean, you hated the way she acted. So you took it as maybe you hated her as a person. You know, like, oh well, she's got to be this or that.
I never said I hate her. I said I fucking hate the way this is going down and how all these people are acting, including her and especially her, because it was making this situation worse, not only for herself, but for everybody, because there was so many inconsistencies that it was causing so many conspiracy theories and everything else.
Well, I mean, like,
which was projecting
like
on
you.
me,
I mean, I
watched
watched Berkey sitting there trying to out so many good people, like could be cheating on your show, and it became such a circus fest. And I was like, you know, I was sticking up for you and Ryan. I was pissed too.
No, I know you were, and I hate that shit.
You know,
and I hate people like Matt Berkey who will do that and not walk something back. And I'm going to tell you something, Mike. Daniel DeGrano said this best, and it's how I feel. You cannot say somebody has done something unless you have hard factual truth, because that will stick with them for the rest of their poker career or life, and that is fucking reckless. And for Matt Berkey or anyone else to do that, including myself, is reckless. So unless I have hard facts, I will never call Robbie a cheater.
Yeah.
I won't call you a cheater. I won't call anyone unless I know. So you're right. Those people are a bunch of.
Well, that was just like, even with the Postal situation, we all have our own opinions on it. But I will never ever go public like so many people have done and said Postal 100% cheated. Like, you have no proof unless you have 100% proof. You can't do that. You know. But I mean, you can have an opinion, you know, like I talk about.
And most of the time we had conversations, it was you calling me, talking for an hour and a half, and then you telling me goodbye. So I never really get a chance to say anything when you call me. But the truth is, you know, I am exactly what I was when you spoke to me.
Okay.
I don't like people who hurt people for clicks. I don't like people who ruin people's reputation for clicks. And I don't like any of that. I still stand by that. But to interview Robbie and to get her to tell her story and to get her to admit some things that you guys will be shocked about, I don't think that's like flip-flopping.
I don't know. I thought you were just going to let it go, and I was a little bit shocked to see it. But hey, maybe you have a lot to say on the show.
Do you understand it now that we just spoke, or do you still feel that way? I mean, it's fine.
You know, honestly, I'm. You know me, I kept my heart on my sleeve. So, I mean, I get, you know, sometimes I say things that I maybe don't mean, but I honestly think they're, I mean, my opinion, I don't understand why you would want to bring it back up when it's pretty much under the water now. And now that just brings...
that is the one risk I take, because kicking the dust up now that I've had this much peace lately is a risk that I am taking. So that will fall on me. But I promise at the end to put out a report. I did.
Right.
We found inconclusive, and I thought the people would like to hear from her personally why she changed her story and narrative so many times. And because she explained that to me, and because she was so candid about some other things that people were curious about, I thought that it would be something that people would want to hear. And I think, you know,
but here's a question. If you think, you know, that she's got sociopathic tendencies and she's changed her story so many times, why wouldn't she come on your show and just make up another story?
So maybe she does, and maybe you can make that determination what you think after you see it. But here's the thing. She also was very candid, which I can understand. Like, how I understand this is because I went through it.
Right.
You know, Matt Berkey and a lot of these other nitwits, you know, accused me of some really nefarious stuff
I know,
that
really
are not
bad.
true. That'll stick with me forever, although 100% not true. And you'll have some people out there that won't let that go. But here's the thing, you know, I know what it's like to be in her shoes at a lower level.
Right.
And so at the beginning when this happened to me, I leaned really far in and I thought, and I said things that I regret. And now I'm changing my pattern of how I'm acting.
Well, you did. You definitely came forward and you admitted the flaws that you guys made, and it's amazing the stuff that you've done.
Because I shouldn't have fought back, because you can't win on the internet.
Never.
But what my point is I know what it's like to be in her shoes at a lower level and to act one way and then act another. So she explains why she changed her story. It's very clear why she looked at her hand and then walked back that she didn't think she had Jack 3. She explains why she did that. She explains that someone asked her or suggested that won't make any sense, so you shouldn't say that. You'll hear it on my podcast.
Right.
She explains why she acted one way one day and the next. And she's a person and a human being. So, sometimes in the heat of like a lot of pressure, we do and say things like, I think, it's very clear you're going to see she was very embarrassed by what happened.
Yeah.
And calling.
Well, me and you talked a lot, and I went back and forth. We both went back and forth on this for weeks. When the wouldn't not came out, I was done. I was done going back and forth, and my hard brain tells me that I wouldn't not think she's guilty, innocent. Sorry, that's just where I'm at right now, and so I got to stick with that. But I love you to death, and everybody. I'll make sure that I'll check out your show and see what she says on Monday. I'll be playing on the stream 24th through 27th. So I'll see you in a few weeks.
Yeah, and on the 27th, you can type in there all your thoughts. Well, if you have questions, I'll make sure they get asked. But I'm going to tell you this: if you're going to be triggered by me being pleasant to her, don't watch. Because I don't bring people on to sabotage them.
No,
regardless, it's not my style. I would never do that.
So here's one question for you. Okay, what you've done the interview with her? Are you still at the 50-50 mark?
I'm at this mark. If I have to lean one way, I lean that there wasn't cheating.
Okay, so you lean a little bit the other way.
Please hear me when I say this. Caveat. I don't know. So because I don't know, I can't put that label on it. Like, that's the first time I have said that publicly.
Right.
Because that's where I'm at right this second.
Yeah.
But if I don't know, all I could do is ask the questions, and all we could do is have our own opinion. But I will say this. If she is innocent, which she may very well be, how fucked up is it
I agree.
to have this label?
I agree. If she's innocent, but if she's fucking guilty, if she's guilty, she really might be. How fucked is it that we might fucking actually think she's innocent?
Okay, but that's the case too.
You're right. You're right. No, you're right.
You're not going to. That's not why you're not going to hear me say, "Oh, she's innocent." How the fuck do I know if she's innocent? Because there's no proof either way. I'm leaning that way because I understand human nature, and I think I know why she said and did those things she did. But I would rather be more careful ruining a reputation than I would trying to lean in to convict.
Hey, we've gone back and forth a million times, and this is you're leaning more innocent. That's good. So maybe listen, it is what it is.
Mike, I don't know.
You're a smart guy. You're one of the smartest guys I know. So
somebody just said in your chat, she's changed her mind 100 times. Why would it be different this time? I don't know why.
Yeah.
You can watch the podcast and you can determine what you think. But I'll tell you what, we will never, there is not a person on this planet that can dogmatically say they know what happened. And because I can't either, I won't take that leap. I just won't do it.
Sounds good, man. I'll see you in a few weeks. I'll talk to you later. Thanks for coming in. Later.
Thanks.
All right.
Take it easy.
You got it. All right. Before we take some more phone calls, I'll give my opinion on that. Listen, I understand what he's saying. Somebody is truly innocent and has to go through what they went through. That sucks. But me personally, once I'm kind of hard-headed, and Nick's pretty hard-headed too. But he has a show. He has a live stream to worry about and to protect, which is another reason why I was so shocked to have her on. Like, the live stream's killing it right now. Now the whole story is this lunatic Batman guy, and why bring up a wound that's been pretty closed now? So, I took it as like, why would my friend Nick do this? Well, for what reason? What is he, stupid? I'm like, he's not stupid, and I'm like, oh, maybe he's being a sellout, and maybe he is being a sellout. I don't know. He's still my friend. I trust him. He's one of my close friends. Somebody in the definitely top 10 in my poker world. Somebody I really, care about as a person. But I'm not going to to sugarcoat it. Listen, I have my own opinion. My opinion is the wouldn't not solved it for me. I mean, I'm sorry. To go all the way out of the way to, oh, look, the guy Brian sent me a fucking DM, and look what the DM says. It just says, you're such a nice, kind person. Thank you. And they both use the word wouldn't not. I'm sorry. I can't. I just can't. I can't go there. I can't go there. Now, I understand why Nick is going there. Maybe, it's something that he wants closer to. I just can't get over the wouldn't not. If it wasn't for the wouldn't not, I swear to you guys, if it wasn't for the wouldn't not, I could possibly go there. You know what I mean? I could go towards, I don't think she cheated, or I lean that she didn't. I'm just too much about I just can't. There's no such thing as coincidences. I've watched this. I see the same in politics every day. There's no such things. I told everyone the Republicans were going to hold out till the late night of January 6th, and then they were going to come together and elect a speaker. I am not Notre Dame, you guys. I don't just come up with these things and they just miraculously come true, okay? I didn't tell you guys for 2 years that as soon as the midterms are over, they're going to try and take out Biden, and there's going to come some kind of scandal's going to come up, and that he's going to have to resign so fucking Kamala will be president. And oh my God! And I said it was going to happen in January, the first week in January. I'm not Notre Dame, okay? I'm a fucking poker player. I just do my homework, we didn't get to that. The Batman Eric Person situation. That was really crazy. I don't know, man. I thought it was kind of funny what the Batman was doing, and I didn't think it was that big a deal. But, wow, it's like we have like reality show TV, but people don't understand. Like, they're like, oh, the Hustler streams a reality show. Yeah, it is a reality show. All poker streams are reality shows, okay? Everybody that sit there and want to complain about the Hustler stream being a reality show needs to understand that all streams are a reality show. When we did NBC Head Up for, 9 years, whatever the heck it was, it's a reality show. It was not always to have the best head-up players. It was to have most of the top players and bring in reality. You would bring in actors, famous people, comedians, whatever it is. It's just a reality show. Every stream in the United States, every stream that PokerGo puts out, every stream that is put out on the internet is a reality show. It is there. The people are the actors and the show. That's how you put on a good show. The reason why Hustler Casino has the best stream in the world is because they put on the best reality show. They have the players, okay? Ryan, who is my dear friend, and sometimes I call him a complete idiot because of the dumb things he does, okay? What he's great at is putting together a great show. He knows the people, who to match with what show. Like, I'm playing on the 24th through 27th. Ryan will make sure that he has the right people to play with me that'll feed off of the type of person I am. That's what they do. They put people together, okay, who they think's personality will conflict with other people's personality, which will then get people to view. Do you guys understand that? That's how a stream becomes the best, okay? What Ryan is good at, which he's not good at much, but he's a great guy, but he's good at putting together great content, great people on streams. And, that's what he's good at. That's his talent. His talent is matching the right people on streams that will make the stream really good, you know? I won't be a nit. I'll be on the show playing the best poker, you know? Listen, you guys tune in to watch Alan Keating play, right? And you're like, oh, Alan Keating, look how he plays. He's a lunatic. Oh, look, he loses $1 million. Oh, look. Alan Keating is out there advertising and then gets all the invites to all the home games and wins tens and tens of millions of dollars playing like a dit. So what you see is not always reality, okay? When you see a lot of people playing all these hands and on these streams, and it's not reality. Reality is tight is right, okay? He who plays tight wins all the money. It's just a fact. If you don't believe me, go look at Nick Vertucci's fucking results. I mean, you think Nick's up like whatever he's up because he's in there playing loose? Yeah, Nick's tighter than my ass, and he knows it. But listen, tight is right, guys. Yeah, 1 billion Mega Millions. I'm in with the poker players tonight. 45,000. I put up 1,200. We got to divide that, 45 ways? I hope we win it. Yeah, Mega Millions. Forgot to talk about that. I'm in with the poker players. Anyways, let's take some more phone calls. Yeah, Mike. Yeah, you're tight, Nick. Come on, man. You're a fucking nit. You're like me. But you play good. They just want to pay you off. They can't help it. Yeah, maybe we win the fucking lottery tonight. What's 1 billion divided 45 ways? What do I get? Like 2 million or 20 million? 20 million? I'll take it. You know? I don't know. Whenever I play 100, 200, I buy in with 20K, 100 big blinds. Phil likes to. You have to remember, okay? I'll tell you something about Phil. Phil is a 50 big blind player or less player. That's why Phil's one of the best tournament players in the world. Okay? Whenever you're playing tournament poker, you always have less than 50 big blinds. When you're down to the last 5 tables, nobody has over 50 big blinds. Okay? So you got to give Phil credit where credit's due. Phil is a great 50 big blind or less player. Phil is not a great 500 big blind cash game player. Now, he might call me and get mad that I said that, but it's just facts. And everybody in the poker world knows it's facts. Does that mean that Phil's not a great poker player? Phil's a great tournament poker player. And he's one of the best 50 big blinds or less players. That's why he wins. Now, people might disagree with it, but results are results. And, you know, even the other day, me and Phil were talking, right? When Daniel posted his results, and it goes back to 2013, and then you add it up, and it says 1.6 million average per year since 2013. Now, you take out, but then Phil made a great point. You take out his $7 million win in a charity tournament, $1 million buy-in in 2013, and you take out the other $2.5 million in another like 20 people high roller. And now you go, how's Daniel doing since 2015? And it now turns to, instead of plus 1.6 to an average of minus like 600,000 per year. And so like here I was telling Phil, like, look how good Daniel's done. He's averaged 1.6 million a year. And then Phil pointed that out to me. Now, I'm not taking anything away from Daniel, by the way. Daniel's truly one of the best poker players ever in the world, you know. But it's really easy to, if you spin just a little thing, just spin a little thing to form a narrative. It's kind of like this thing, you know, we talk about with politics, you know. You spin something to form a narrative, you know. That's the narrative. So the narrative is Daniel great, Phil bad, you know. But then you go look at the last 5 years and you look at Phil's tournaments results, and per tournaments played, can anybody match Phil's? Maybe Sean Deeb could probably be close to what Phil's done in the last 5 years. So you have to understand what people are good at and what people are bad at. Now, me, I'm great at everything. I'm just kidding. But I have learned how to play deep stack. I have learned how to play small ball. I've learned how to play everything. Am I going to buy in 500 big blinds deep and try and outplay everybody and play like an idiot on Hustler Casino Live? No, because I hate to lose. And I don't have 500,000 to dump on a week so I can get brought into other big home games and make 10 million, you know? Now, when I get 10 million put away, which might take a while, and then I'll go on Hustler Casino Live and dump a fucking 500,000 so I can get into some home games like Alan Keating does. All right, let's take some calls. Well, welcome to the Mouthpieces, Mike.
Hey, what's up, Mike? It's Drew. How's it been going for the new year for you?
Drew, man, good. How you doing? Happy New Year to you.
Happy New Year to you, man. I was taking some time off into the year.
Yeah. How you been? Good.
With the elections, disappointed in a lot of stuff at the end of the year. Just like, you gotta breathe. You got to breathe. And then Phil lost to that fucking nerd.
Oh, yeah, Phil lost. He played like shit.
Yeah. Are they going to rematch or
you know what? Like, Phil didn't want to rematch him for like 3.2 million, but Phil probably will rematch him for like 100K. Phil knows he played bad. Don't think Phil doesn't know he played bad. He's a smart guy.
So nobody wants to throw in with him. Nobody wants to throw in.
Well, nobody's going to put. The thing is nobody's going to put up $1.6 million. I mean, do you know how much money that is? I mean, even the rich people, like rich people, you know, they're not that liquid. You know,
you're telling me, okay, Daniel or Phil Ivey or any of these other big shots that have known him for years. And maybe some of his internet friends, this guy from the Valley, or wherever, California.
Here's a question. Let me ask something. Daniel's a great poker player. Do you think that he is plus EV or negative to say, I want to put up 1.6 million to take on Jason Kuhn?
No. You're asking do halves. I'm not saying that.
I'm saying there's just no people aren't going to do it. There's just not. Under the structure, it's basically you're flipping for $1.6 million. It would be like
you just went over Daniel's, 2013.
Yeah.
And he's how many buy-ins is this? He's like the king of buy-ins. He's still underwater, or maybe just like a couple $100,000 ahead. He gets his money because he got the big GG poker.
Yeah,
and then before
of course.
Poker fucking contracts. That's what he gets his money off.
Yeah, of
Let's
course.
be honest. That's where he gets. It's rumored to be over 10 million a year.
No, I mean I know what he gets, but he's listen, Daniel is still, you don't have to like him. Daniel is a good heart. He's got a great heart, and
he's got a great heart, but
he plays with his heart on his sleeve. He works hard to make himself better. At all times, and I wish
you're talking about. Wait, I'm trying to get to this point here. Right? I'm not trying to undercut Daniel. It's just the fact he's probably underwater. Okay, It doesn't mean he's a bad guy or not a bad guy.
Yeah,
he makes his money off of his endorsements.
Correct.
It doesn't mean, and he doesn't play cash games, so he's not in that field anymore.
Right.
And I'm just pointing out that on that line of thinking, the world's biggest net is Phil Hellmuth, and he's probably way ahead. He doesn't do a lot of buy-ins, right, in the last 7 years.
Right. Phil doesn't like to lose, okay? Phil likes to take his money, and Phil likes to invest his money. He doesn't he just doesn't like to lose 200,000 playing poker. He would not sleep for a week if he lost 200,000.
I understand that, but we're talking about promotion of the game.
Correct.
Right?
Yep.
Right? And I understand. Okay, the guy, I don't know how much he was backed. What was he playing? One of the nerds. What's his nerd? The nerd name. The guy. Keto nerd.
I don't know. Jason Kuhn?
Coons. I knew his name was Coons, but I didn't. Want
Coons
to say
is he's one of the nicest guys you'll ever meet. By the way, he's a good.
He
guy.
might be, but to me, I don't need see that. He's not buying me any drinks. Okay,
he
might be a nice guy. He's not. I don't know him. I know him on the internet. Right?
He's gonna be on. He's gonna be on the show. He's gonna be on my show here in the next couple of weeks. By the way,
okay,
so you can call and ask him questions.
And I can say from what I see, he's not a very good promoter of the thing. I don't know how much of himself he had.
Yeah.
Right. But we're all here promoting poker, and the only way I see that nobody's throwing in who could easily do it for promotion of the game. Because if it were to be a rematch, it would be a very big. It might even be covered by mainstream sports at that point, right? So I don't know why all these people. Daniel's supposed to be a promoter of the game. Phil Hellman's supposed to be a promoter
I
of the
see
game,
what you're
right?
saying. I got what you're saying.
Okay.
Okay.
All these people complaining about.
You're right. Oh, got it. Okay. You know what?
Who just passed away this past year? Who was the greatest promoter of the game?
Mike Sexton.
Mike Sexton, right?
Yeah.
Do you think if Mike Sexton was alive, that he wouldn't put in some money to have this thing go forward?
Yeah. I mean, if he had, I see what you're saying.
I'm straight up calling these fucking dudes out.
I got it. Drew.
Okay, I'm calling them out. I don't know if they're going to listen to me. I talk a lot of mess on your radio show, but I can't accept the fact that they're not throwing in and somebody's expected to put $1.6 million. How many of his internet friends are on his game, right?
Yeah.
How many of these people out there, they couldn't throw in $100,000 or $200,000 to keep the game going? Coons has already got the money, him and his backers, right? Mm-hmm. So what's the problem?
All right. Well, I'm going to answer that offline, Drew. I appreciate you calling in. Happy New Year to you. I love you. Thanks again. And I'll talk to you soon.
Sorry if I sound a little aggressive. It's just my point.
It's all good, man. I'm going to answer it right now, though. Have a great day.
Okay.
Later. All right. So I understand what Drew's saying. It's a good point. He made a lot of good points just now. So when Jason wins and beats Phil for $1.6 million, right? What is the upside? I said. And Drew made a very good point. Where are all the people promoting the game? What is $1.6 million if, let's just say, GG Poker put up the money for Daniel if Daniel didn't want to put up his own money, which he could afford, but he doesn't want to. Why is other like poker, party poker with Rob not putting up somebody to put up $1.6 million? Because they'll be wearing their patch, it'll be covered by mainstream, and it will promote poker. And that's what Drew is trying to say. And there was a lot of good points in that. And I didn't see that. Here I was thinking, why would anybody want to put up $1.6 million for a flip? Where it's basically a flipping for $1.6 million. Well, whoever would have put up the $1.6 million is basically paying $1.6 million in advertising. So let's just say GG Poker with Daniel, or Rob puts up Sam Trickett, or one of his main guys, a party poker. Now they're wearing their patches. It's a big head up match. It's going to get covered big time. He's made a lot of good points there. Well, there's a lot of good points there by Drew. 702-329-0480. Give us a call. Let me know if what you want to talk about. Football. I cut my man off short. He thought I was bailing on the Bengals. I'm not. I'm bailing on the fact we just lost our left guard. I'm missing our right tackle. And I just am fucking worried that we don't have enough offensive line to win it all. I'm not bailing, but the games are won and lost in the trenches. Patrick Mahomes proved that against Tampa Bay 2 years ago. And you gotta win in the trenches. Yeah. So, no, man, I can't do that, you guys. Listen. I have, I love promoting poker. I love promoting people. I love caring about people. I don't buy into the bullshit. Welcome to the Mouthpiece. This is Mike. What up?
You cut me off.
Hey, what's up?
Another pick I like. I understand that you think Cincy will win. but not cover the 9.5, which I think is absurd. But you've been right.
My best friend thinks the same as you do. He thinks they're going to kill him. I'm just really worried. You saw early in the year when the offensive line, they had new offensive line, they had 3 new offensive linemen. They struggled early in the year to protect Burrow, and then after week 4, they've been the best team in football. Well, now we just lost those 2 offensive linemen, and what did they do? They struggled early in the year. Everything was a last-second game. I really think this is a game that Cincinnati better not overlook, because if they get past this week, and I don't think that the offensive lineman's ankle injury is really bad. Is it possible we get him back the next week against Buffalo? I really think, we're not beating Buffalo minus 2 offensive linemen, buddy. I'm just being an honest person.
You don't think Buffalo is like already won the Super Bowl and like they're just emotional? Like the old Bill Simmons rule is when a team acts like they won the Super Bowl.
They looked really bad against New England. If it wasn't for the kick returns, they don't even win the game. Allen has looked bad most of the year. Yep. He's second in the league in interceptions behind fucking the idiot for the Cowboys.
I know.
It's like, and if you don't run the ball, stop the run in the NFL playoffs, you don't win. And listen, they could stop the run. Oliver's a beast, but can they run the ball? Okay, they were running the ball in weeks 13 through 16. Last 2 weeks, no running the ball again. I mean, they are not going to beat Cincinnati or Kansas City unless they run. And they have got to get balanced.
Yeah, I mean, James Cook has been coming around a little.
What's their back? Stingley, is that who's their running back? The Buffalo.
But James Cook has pretty much taken over the role.
Yeah,
I feel it. I mean, production wise, he has.
But
Singletary has been their guy. Yeah.
I don't think I've told everybody I don't think Kansas City has any chance to come out of the AFC, and. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe the loss of 2 offensive linemen on Cincinnati, maybe the 2 offensive linemen lost, maybe not being able to run the ball, and the loss of Von Miller. And now you got to remember, Tre'Davious White's been 50% of his old self, and now you lost Damar Hamlin, who's been playing fantastic for them in the back end.
They got Micah Hyde back though this week.
They do have Micah Hyde back. Really? I thought he was out for this. Are you sure? Wow.
I heard a caller on Mad Dog Radio say that earlier today, so I don't know.
If they get Micah Hyde back, I thought he was out for the seat. I thought he tore an ACL.
I just heard that in a caller on Mad Dog. It was kind of just flying.
I don't believe it. I'd have to look it up. I don't believe it. I heard
I heard that. That definitely, it perked my ears.
Yeah, he tore an ACL. There's no way he's going to be back. So the back end of that defense is really going to struggle. God, I might be wrong, man. I'm gonna lose 4,500 if I laid a guy 2-1. He can have Kansas City to win the AFC. I just don't believe it.
Andy Reid's MO is to blow conference finals games, no matter how big of a favorite he is.
I'm not sure about that, but Hyde could be back for the championship game. The guy just wrote in the thing. So but then they would have to get past. Cincinnati, and people don't. If you watch that first quarter, Cincinnati was really taking it to Buffalo pretty good.
That's why I can't believe. I've mentioned this before. The game they should have gave Cincy to win, but
it should have been. I agree. It should have been a forfeit by the Bills. And here's the thing: is I had a big preseason bet on the Bengals to win over 9.5 games, and they're trying to not pay me, and I am livid about it. Well,
they're going to give you a push? Or
they're trying to give me a push. Oh, well, it didn't go 17 games. Well, that's bullshit. Okay, they won 11 before the game.
How are you not prepared to get? It's like going to the mechanic. You're going to get screwed. You better be on top.
It's okay
of your shit.
If I don't get paid. If I don't get paid by the person, I'll just it'll just never I mean,
Oh, yeah,
I will
yeah.
never make a bet with the person again. You
If
know?
it's a casino, you would never get paid there.
Well, yeah, but it's a big difference with casino and betting with fucking people that take your money for many years, you know. So.
But I also love Tampa, bro. But
I like Tampa a little bit too. I like Tampa a little bit also.
Yeah, if they put it in Prescott's hands, which they will, because you can't run on Tampa. No one really can.
Well, they can't run on Dallas either. We know nobody can run on Dallas.
Yeah, exactly. It's going to come down to Brady versus Prescott.
Yeah.
Come on, man. That's a lot, Jerry.
Dak Prescott's the second worst quarter. He's been the worst, third worst quarterback in the league this year. He's been terrible.
He's the only guy who benefited by not playing. Made his big contractual moment, or the moment when he got paid, was when he was injured and Andy Dalton came in and did so bad. They were like, "Oh my God, we got to pay him." If it wasn't for him getting hurt, he would not be even starting a quarterback in the NFL right now.
Yeah.
But they got so pot committed to starting him every game. That's the only reason he's kept the job.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, listen, I don't think much of I mean, I'm not going to change my tune on Tampa Bay. I watched fucking 17 fucking games. They were terrible in all 17.
Terrible.
Okay?
Terrible.
They're not I mean, I just don't believe like all of a sudden Tampa Bay is going to win playoff games. Okay? Now, I watched Dallas all year and I said this team's going to win playoff games. But now I watched them the last 4 weeks, and I'm thinking, this team ain't winning shit. I mean, so it makes... here's the thing that scares me about this game.
I think that's a very good point.
Here's the thing that scares me about this game, right? If they rested everybody week 18 Dallas, right, would we be saying, let's bet Tampa Bay? Fuck no, we wouldn't. There's no way we would be saying that. We watched Tampa Bay. We watched this team need a miracle to beat the Rams, a miracle to beat Carolina, a miracle to beat the Rams, a miracle to beat the Saints, a miracle to beat Atlanta. I mean, we watched this team with like the last 5 wins needing miracles. Okay? They're not now, but we watched Dallas against a team that was 0-3-1 the last 4 with everything to play for, just get the shit kicked out of them. But the one thing in the NFL, when a team gets the shit kicked out of them and they're a good team, what do? They always bounce back the next week. So
in baseball, if a team loses by 8 runs and plays the same team the next day,
you always
win.
Exactly. You know how it is, my man. I'm going to take some more calls. Have a good one. Let's go Cincinnati, buddy. Let's go.
Oh, yeah. Hoorah.
Yeah. Later. It's easy to say I like Brady, not Tampa. They can't run the fucking ball, okay? Now, if the center comes back, there's rumors that the center is going to play for Tampa. If the center comes back and plays this week, and he's 80%, and they're able to run the ball, they got a shot. You know what I mean? The Chargers-Eagles Super Bowl matchup. You can have 100 million to 1. That ain't going to happen. Have you watched the coach of the Chargers? You think in any way that coach, a guy who played his starters into the fourth quarter in a meaningless game and lost his number 1 receiver, is going to win anything? This fucking guy should be fired. And when they lose against Jaguars this weekend, he will be. Period. 702-329-0480. Give us a call. The Niners are good, man. The Niners run the ball, stop the run. Run the ball, stop the run. RG3 tweeted it out 3 days ago, and everybody attacked him for it. But it's true. If you run the ball and stop the run, that's how you win Super Bowls. San Francisco can run the ball and stop the run. And honestly, they should be the Super Bowl favorite, even with Brock Purdy. Now, Brock Purdy's looked good. And he took a team when they were behind against the Raiders and won. But everybody comes from behind against the Raiders and won. The last rookie to win a Super Bowl, Ben Roethlisberger. No, he took him to the Super Bowl in his rookie year. He didn't win it, right? Or did he win it? I'm trying to think. Did Ben Roethlisberger win the Super Bowl in his rookie year? I think he did. Welcome to the Mouthpiece, Mike.
Hey, Mike, what's happening, man?
What are you doing, my man?
Not much. I thought I might change it up on politics a bit here, but
Sure.
I do love your poker show and your take on sports betting and having Bertucci on tonight.
Oh, yeah,
Unbelievable show.
Yeah, it's great.
Hey, what do you think? You think the Democrats are gonna dump Biden now?
Of course
like
they are.
Dumped,
Of course, just like they did with just like they did the governor of New York, Cuomo. When they got no more use for him, it's a uniparty. It's not just the Democrats. So they're all in it together. Okay, if you've been listening to the show for 2 years, I told everybody. I've been saying it. I don't even know anybody who listens to the show must have said a minimum of 10 times that as soon as the GOP wins. Now, I did think it was going to be a red wave. I was wrong. I thought they were going to demolish them in the midterms. And as soon as they got power, which the House is enough power, okay, they're going to expose all of Biden's corruptions and the whole thing with Bobulinski and China and selling his name for secrets in China is all going to be exposed. They can't have that, so they had to take him out, right? What do you think? They miraculously look at this box behind his Corvette. It's got classified information.
Oh yeah,
what the fuck? You must think that.
How he put them there as vice president? I don't think he even had the authority to do that.
He didn't put shit there. Fucking, this is all set up. Dude, even one of the Dem lawmakers said it last night. He's like, "This reeks of somebody planting evidence." Okay, this is all to take out Biden on purpose. They can't.
Yeah.
They can't have all the investigations where they're going to impeach him and all that shit coming up. He was always going to resign. I have big bets that he resigns by the 1st of February.
Oh,
and you
really?
know what? And you know what? I now truly believe I'm going to win them. Okay? I always
I didn't. Wow. Yeah. Boy, that's great.
You don't understand.
I
You
can
have
see
to
that.
understand how the Democrats work. Okay? They put a guy with dementia into the White House. He campaigned from his basement. He couldn't put 2 sentences together, so he couldn't even go out on the campaign trail. Okay? They got him in office. Okay? They then kept him hidden. The first 2 years of his presidency, he had one press conference so they could get him through the midterms. Okay? Now they have no use for him. Okay? They must take him out. They are all about identity politics. They must say that we put the first women African American as president. And Cuntface is going to be president. And if you really want to make money, go to one of the offshore sites, go put $1,000 at about 20 to 1 that Kamala Harris will be the 46th president of the United States, because he will resign here within the next month. Okay? And she will become president. And he will not be running again, because they now, they probably told him, we want you to step down. And he's like, no, I want to run again. And then, listen. There's a deep state. There's a deep state against Trump. There's a deep state against Biden. There's 5 to 10 people that run the world. They tell you who's going to be in power. Okay? Your vote doesn't mean shit. Okay? That's why when Trump...
Yeah, I've said that for years.
That's why...
Your vote does not count.
That's why when Trump, okay, the Democrats have the super delegates, okay? There's nobody coming off the street to run for president on the Democrat side that could ever win the presidency. See, that's why another reason when I first became political, I leaned right. Because if somebody like Trump or somebody like you could come off the street and you could become president, because they don't have the super delegates, okay? But see, even the GOP will make sure that never happens again. That's it. And Trump was a threat to them. As much as you could say what an idiot Trump is, and I think he's truly a moron, okay? His policies were good, and he was a threat to the establishment. He was a threat to the way Washington works. And they had to do what they had to do to take him out at any cost. And what they did to him was horrible. And they ruined his presidency with did you see the Twitter files that came out yesterday about how the whole Trump Russia was all fake, and how the Justice Departments and the Democrats and the shifts were pushing Twitter to censor bots, and they said in the memo to the White House or to to the Democrat Congress people that there is no Russia bots on Twitter and that they were pushing a whole false, and it was all made up. It was all made up. The Twitter files came out yesterday on it.
Yeah.
You know, but we all knew it was all made up. Okay, just like this being done to Biden is all made up. Okay, they have to take him out. Okay, period. You know, if you follow politics like religiously, like I do, and you really understand what's going on, you really could come to a conclusion that it's one big uniparty. They lie to me as a Republican. They lie to whoever who's a Democrat. They get you angry. They get you fired up to come out and vote. And all they do is put on political theater, and they just make up whatever they want to make up, and nothing changes. This is why they have divided governments, so nothing gets done. If nothing gets done, they keep giving their money to their donors. They keep passing the lobbyists, the donors, the fucking defense what's it called? The defense establishment, whatever the fuck, and they just funnel money to all their buddies in the Defense Department. That's why they fund these unneeded wars. They don't care. Everything's about money. And they're so corrupt, you know. They're just
you know, the Democrats are now the war party, $100 billion.
Can you imagine that? Now I've only been political till 2015, but before that, I mean, up until 2016, from what I've heard, I mean, tell me if I'm wrong, the Republicans were always the war party, correct?
Yeah, right.
And now the Democrats are the war party. The Democrats were always the party of the working class. Now the Republicans are the party of the working class. Like, so that's why you're watching so many mainstream Democrats move over to the right. Like you think Elon Musk is a right winger? I mean, this guy's been fucking as left as can be his whole life. He didn't change. He got educated about how they lie, and they sicked him on him. I mean, think about it. We wouldn't have known nothing on the Twitter files about what the White House did and how they suppressed everybody's speech and all the things they did if Elizabeth Warren and Bernie Sanders didn't come after Elon Musk on Twitter. And when they came after him, and then they got the Babylon Bee taken off of Twitter. And the people who ran the Babylon Bee were his friends. He's like, well, I got $44 billion. Let me buy this fucking thing, and let's restore free speech. And he's not a right winger. I mean, is he been red pilled? Yeah, he's been red pilled. Okay, he's on the right, but he's just been put on the right because he's been shown the truth. You know, the truth shall set you free, and everything he's shown on the Twitter files shows how corrupt the FBI is, shows how corrupt the White House is, shows how corrupt all our Congress people are, that the people they suppress one half of the information. I told everybody 46 billion with a B pro-Trump impressions were taken off Twitter for the 2020 election. And when I kept saying that the election was taken, I always said it was stolen based on the suppression of the people's tweets and people's personal being able to get the information out. And now they've proven it with the Twitter files. Like Matt Talighi, he was a Democrat his whole life. He only moved to the right less than 2 years ago. And you know, Barry Weiss.
What do you think though that McCarthy now is saying stuff like they're gonna show the 14,000 hours of January 6th.
Well, they have
video.
to, because they're going to see. This is all see, now the Democrats had their side at their political theater. They put on their movie, okay? They put on their matinee with the January 6th committee. Now the House, the Republicans are going to put on their side of the January 6th committee. They're going to show all the hours. They're going to show, which I believe will show the truth, okay? And now everybody will be back like, oh, well, that's what happened. Well, that's kind of opposite of what the other people showed. You know, they wouldn't allow Republicans on the January 6th committee. Yeah, they put Liz Cheney and Adam Kinzinger. Liz Cheney and Adam Kinzinger are the two most anti-Trump people in the world, two most hated by the right in the world. Nobody's hated more on the GOP, by the GOP base than them two. So, you know, it was all a partisan committee. Now you're going to see, now you'll see a partisan committee on the other side. And now you're going to see another side of the movie. That's all.
Do you think that that might resurrect Trump any?
I don't know. You know, I'm hoping DeSantis runs, and I think that they want I think they want DeSantis to run, and I know they want Kamala, but she's so inept. I don't know if they can do it, you know, but they're going to have a trial run with her for the next 2 years because there is zero chance that Biden will not resign from office. You mark my word. I said it fucking 2 years ago.
That's a heavy
I said it.
statement
They
you're
have
making,
too
but I
much.
believe it.
They have too much dirt on him. They are not going to sit there and run investigations on him if he's not the president. That's why they have to take him out. Okay, they have to, just like they had to take out the governor of New York. What was his name? Cuomo, right? I mean, you got one. Yeah, the funny thing is I've been saying this for 2 years. You know, I watched Tucker last night, and he said the exact same thing I've been saying for 2 years, that they were going to take him out. And I'm thinking, wow. I'm like, this guy thinks exactly like I do. You know, I don't think like he does. He thinks exactly like I do. And so I've been saying it on the show a minimum of 10 times that come the 1st of January, you'll see him resign or some kind of big thing will come up. And sure enough, what do we know? Just miraculously, we found documents behind his Corvette in his garage. Who's snooping around his garage? Like, who's going in his garage?
Yeah.
Like, who's going in his garage looking for documents? Okay? If there's documents in his garage, they were planted there. Okay? It's just like,
I mean, are they gonna? Do you think they're going to come up? These investigations are going to come up with?
No, because he's going to resign before the investigations come up.
Yeah.
Just like I've been saying for fucking 2 years. Now, could I be right? If I'm wrong, I'll be the first to say it. There is no way that fucking Joe Biden will be running for president in 2024. There is no way they're going to let the House Oversight Committee run all these investigations over him over the next 2 years because it's going to destroy the Democrats. So they have to have him resign. And this scandal, which I believe is planted, to take him out, is so he resigns. You know, that's it. That's it. And listen, when he resigns here in the next month or 2 weeks, whatever, and they put her in office, everybody will say, wow, that Mike Mattis, so how did he get it so right?
I mean, I think you're right.
I'm not Notre Dame, okay? Everything I say things like I told everybody about the fucking when they were pushing the vaccine on everybody, that the government doesn't give two hoops of a shit about anybody. And now they want to tell you we're trying to save lives. You know what I mean? I knew there was something. It was all, I mean, it's all coming out now. Everything's coming out. It just is, you know? It just is. And
they got this doctor in Great Britain on that vax, Asima Malhotra, some big cardiologist. Yeah, and the Great Britain now he's saying that that the vax is causing this rise in
of
heart
course it
attacks
is.
and cardiac
Listen,
arrest.
there was 29 athletes that died from cardiac arrest 2 years ago. Since then, 1,534. I mean, it's 1 + 1 is not 3. Okay, I'm not trying to be a conspiracy theorist. Now, do I get pissed when time somebody dies or has a heart attack on the people on the right fucking blame it on the vax? You know, that pisses me off. You know, because it's just like when everybody on the left blamed every death in 2020 and 21 on COVID. You know, or 2019, whatever. You know, you remember the red death, the death count that CNN had all on through 2020 for the election? Give me a break, man.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean, even Vegas is getting some big heart attacks. You know, now people are wondering now about this vax. They're thinking twice about it now.
Listen, what did I always say? And I'll say it to the day I die. If you're over 50 and you're overweight, take the vax. The upside, the downside, The upside is better than the downside. But them pushing the vaccine on people less than 40 who are in great condition, like young kids, I thought it's like child abuse. Like young kids are 100 times more likely to die taking the vax than they are not taking it. That's just true, the facts. It's like, if you're over 60 and you're not taking the vax, I think you're an idiot. I think the upside is way better than the downside. I'm not anti-vax. I took the vax. I took the first 2. Wish I didn't, but I did. And
yeah, me too.
And then I realized everybody's getting 1 booster, 2, but 3, and all these people, no matter how many boosters they're getting, they're all getting COVID. And more people are dying from COVID that are vaxxed than are unvaxxed. So, listen, to this day on this show, I will say it. If you're over 60 and you haven't been vaccinated and you're somewhat overweight or you have health conditions, get vaxxed. You know what I'm saying? But if you're under 40 and you work out and you're in good condition, I don't think you should get it. That's just my opinion, Yeah.
So, yeah, you're going to be world famous if Biden resigns, man. I'll tell you that.
I've been saying it for 2 years. It was going to happen in January, and there's going to be some kind of crazy, what's it called, come up that was going to try and take him out. And here we are. The exact week I said it. I said it would happen like January 7th. And here we are. It happened, January 12th, 11th, 10th? I was off by 3 days. It's pretty funny.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I listen to you. I try to get my, because you kind of foresee things, I think.
Yeah.
And I get the news, but you kind of go in you kind of take it in a different direction. And then, Biden resigning makes sense to me right now. I didn't think of it, but.
Well, yeah. And he might come up now. This is coming out. There might be like some kind of health thing come up, but he's one. I said he would resign before February 1st. That's what I told the people for the last 2 years, and I hope I'm not off by a week because I don't want to lose this bet that I have with fucking Helmuth, or I'm gonna be mad, But I always felt I knew what they had on the Biden laptop. People are like, well, we don't care what's on Hunter Biden's laptop. Yeah, but it's not. Who care? We don't care about the him being naked with all the models and doing the blow and the coat. We don't care about that. We care about the fact that he sold shit to China for financial gain. That was what was on there. Bobolinsky and the emails, and that showed the emails that he had with the Chinese companies. These are all facts. They're all true, and they can't have the oversight committee coming out and exposing that. And he's got everything to lose. And I don't know if this was always the plan to take him out this way. I always thought it was going to be, his health has deteriorated, so he's going to resign. And
he looks like he's ready for another 4.
And the truth of the matter is, it might just be that they told him you're not running in 2024, and he said he is. And he said he's not resigning. And so now they just planted this on him like they planted, like the bullshit they did, and that there's going to be way too much pressure on him now. So, or it might have just been, this might have been the plan the whole time. I don't know. Yeah. Either way, when I know that anybody listens to the show and wants to make money, bet Kamala Harris to be the 46th president. He will not finish his term. I know this. I'm sure of this. Yeah. Every part of my gut has told me this. Everything that I've ever said about politics on this show has always come true. You know what I'm saying? Everything. Yeah. And it's not because it's not because I'm a genius or I'm smart. Unfortunately, I have an injury. I'm stuck at home. It's hard for me to leave the house. So I'm stuck doing a lot of reading, and I do a lot of, I study.
No, you have great insights. I mean, you have great insights on poker. I mean, you're a great player, natural abilities, and there's no doubt about that. I mean, and you are I've watched you play. I mean, you're one hell of a cash game player. I mean,
Yeah.
there's no doubt about that.
Yeah, I crush it, and I don't need to.
Yeah.
I don't want to have to. I don't need to. I don't need to go
So
on.
you're in.
Yeah, I don't need to go on like live streams to show everybody how good I am, because it doesn't. I don't want people to know how I play. I go on the live streams for Hustler Casino because Nick's my good friend and Ryan's my good friend, and a lot of people want to watch me play, and it helps them out, and and I get to play in good games for 3 days. You know what I'm saying? So.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm not the type of person that just wants to go out on a live stream and play every day on a live stream to show everybody how I play poker. I don't want anybody to know how I play poker. If they see how I play, they can study how I'm playing, and then if I'm deep in a tournament, and they could say, "Oh, I watched Mike do this, this, and this." I don't want people to know that. I just don't really care. But
yeah.
All
right.
Anyways, have a happy New Year, man. Have a great weekend.
You too.
I appreciate the call. Thank you. Later.
All right, take care.
We have one more.
All right, let's get one more. Yeah, good show today, man.
Never mind, he said.
All right.
We took too long to get back.
It's all good. 702-329-0480. We'll take one more call if you want. I definitely am going with my pick of the week as the Jacksonville Jaguars. Now, they beat this team 38-10 in SoFi early in the year. Now, normally when a team beats a team, it's tough to beat them a second time. It's definitely tough to beat them a third time. Another reason why I like Baltimore plus the points, but especially if I get 10 this week. I just think the coach is an idiot. I mean, to lose his fucking can't lose receiver in a meaningless game for no reason because he wanted to beat Denver in Denver. And here's another thing. Like a friend of mine I was hanging out with last night, he made a good point. He goes, not only did they play him for 3.5 quarters in Denver, the altitude in Denver takes a lot out of your lungs, okay? When you play in altitude, and then that takes a lot out of you, and it's going to make them more tired for the next week. So I didn't even think about that. That's even dumber that he played his starters in altitude in Denver for no reason. I just think, you want to say, oh, Justin Herbert's so good. Well, Trevor Lawrence has been the best quarterback in the NFL last 8 weeks, except for Jared Goff. Jared Goff, 15 touchdowns, no picks, 115 passer rating. Trevor Lawrence finished the year 6-0, 14 touchdowns, 1 pick, 113 passer rating. Who's been the best? He's been the second best quarterback in the league. He struggled against Tennessee. Tennessee rested everybody for 3 weeks to get ready for this game. Tennessee's defense played lights out. They couldn't even get a first down in the second half. Tennessee defense, that was the same Tennessee defense that had Kansas City beat. That cost me $133K. Somehow lost that game to Patrick Mahomes. Tennessee defense that was 7-1 in the next 8 games after going 0-2 to start the year. That's a top 3 defense. That's why he struggled last week. Chargers defense has improved, but they aren't the Tennessee defense. And I like Trevor Lawrence. I think the coach is an idiot. He lost Mike Williams. I'm going with the Jacksonville Jaguars to win. So the 6 games, these are my opinions. I only really like one game, Jacksonville. I think the Niners cover. I think Seattle's terrible. I think. Do you know? I read a stat. Like laying double-digit favorites in the NFL, you're really going to go broke in your life. But if you lay double-digit favorites in the postseason, it's the opposite. It's like 70%. So I read this yesterday also. So I like the Niners. I like the Giants, but everybody likes the Giants, even if they don't. I mean, I'm hoping the Vikings win so I could just bet everything I could on Frisco the following week against them. I think Vikings stink. The Dallas game is interesting. I like the under in the game, but like I said, if Dallas didn't play anybody in Week 18, would anybody be putting their money on Tampa Bay right now? I mean, we know what Tampa Bay is. We watched them all year. They never scored 20 against anybody. So I don't know. Oh, we got another call. We'll take one more call. Welcome to the Mouthpieces, Mike.
Hi, Mike. It's Daniel from Mexico.
Hey, buddy. What are you doing, man?
Well, I'm suffering because they just extended the requirement you have to be vaxxed for foreigners. They extended another 4 months. I mean, come on, wake up, United States.
Wait. There's 283,000 crossing illegally in Mexico. They don't have to be vaxxed, and you get an iPhone, and you get your free housing and everything. But if you want to fly into the United States, you need a vaccination of a vaccine that does nothing to stop the spread of COVID. Now, what does that tell you? It's all bullshit. It's all political. It's all bullshit.
It's stupid. And Djokovic, he's not going to be able to come over for a couple of big tournaments. And he says, I don't care. My body's more important.
Yeah. Well, it's like, I don't know if you watched Joe Rogan today. I think it was today or yesterday. I know it was whoever he had on. He's like, he doesn't care what anybody thinks. Like Aaron Rodgers was right. Everybody was right. Everybody that didn't take the vaccine was right. Okay, they were right. When you're under a certain age and in good health, being vaccinated, the chance of you being hurt is way more likely to take the vax than to not take the vax if you're under the age of 40, and that's just a fact. And if you
don't forget the fact that they completely negated natural immunity. Completely negated it.
Completely. And I can't wait. I can't wait for the Elon Musk fucking Fauci files to come out, which he said are going to come out this week. Okay. You think the richest man in the world?
They were going to come out last Thursday.
Yeah. You think the richest man in the world is going to tweet out, prosecute Fauci unless he knows something that we don't know?
Oh, yeah. Okay. Then if he's responsible for letting this out, what's the difference between Musk and Julian Assange?
Exactly.
There's
You're
nothing.
right.
And Julian Assange is rotting over there in some prison.
Correct.
And
all he did is publish true information, and that's exactly what Elon Musk is doing. And the truth of the matter is Elon Musk might have lost 150 billion with Tesla stock, but what he's going to do for saving the world and saving free speech and exposing all these corrupt motherfuckers is going to be worth a lot more than the money he lost.
I feel sorry for Julian Assange, but there was one plus for him.
What's that?
There was a big plus. When he was in the Ecuadorian consulate,
yeah,
he got Pamela Anderson to visit him a couple of times. Now that's got to be a plus.
Yeah, that's true. Listen, the thing is again, and the people on the right, they're right. Trump could have easily, what's it called, Julian Assange. He could have,
he should have.
He should have. Yeah.
Come on, Trump.
Because
throw a couple of balls at the end
because Trump's all about himself. Trump wanted him to say those emails didn't come from Russia, right? He wanted to out his source for him to be I'm drawing a blank. What do they call it? Pardoned. Yeah, for him to be pardoned. So Trump wanted something, right? Instead of doing the right thing. See, that's why Trump's a piece of shit. He always wants something.
He had no trouble. Pardoning Conrad Black.
Correct. Now remember this. Trump is not in the White House if it's not for WikiLeaks exposing all the shit on Hillary. Okay? So he shouldn't need anything else. Okay? He's in the White House because of WikiLeaks. He went on the campaign trail and was quoting WikiLeaks. Okay? So why didn't he pardon Assange? Because he wanted something more. I do know why. He wanted more. He wanted him to go public. He said, "Tell me who your sources are, and I will pardon you." And Julian Assange is a stand-up guy and said, "Fuck you. I ain't telling you shit." And so
look at that Chelsea Manning. I think she's back in prison now because they were trying to get some information out of her after she got pardoned.
She was back in prison. I don't know if she is anymore. I don't know. I'm not going to say she.
I'd like to check up on that, but she definitely went back into prison.
Yeah,
and she was there for a while. So even some of the players in this have got more guts than Trump did.
Yeah, Trump's a loser, man. I hope he's not the nominee. I hope he's not the nominee.
I miss playing poker. I miss playing. I miss going to Aria and putting in a shift. And God, I just really miss it. I haven't played since it's been going back to
just go down to Mexico and walk across the border, man. It's not hard. It's easy.
Well,
that's what everybody does. And if the Border Patrol come up to you and just say asylum, or you just say I'm an American citizen, but I'm unvaxxed and they wouldn't let me back in. Can you let me by? I'm sure the guy will laugh and probably just let you walk by. I mean, so ridiculous.
Yeah, or just give him the truth. I'm escaping a dictator up there, Trudeau.
Yeah, Trudeau, what a fucking piece of shit he is.
But I want to ask you something about poker. I know one of the things that you like to do is you play tight. Tight is right.
Yep.
And when you're sitting you're in a cash game, and there's 8-9 people at the table, and you're working on your table image. It's just, the psychology in like cash poker is so important. A lot of people are on their phones and they don't pay attention to what's going on, the dynamics of the table.
Yeah,
but you cultivate this, and then that allows you to find a spot where you think you can make a move, even if you're not getting the cards, right? To steal a pot, make some money. That's kind of one of the things you do, right?
Cash poker so tournament. I'll tell you how. I mean, I don't really want. I'll tell you just a basic form of my, what I think about. Okay, so in tournaments, it's about stealing blinds and antes. Okay, that's how I play. You steal enough. You've got to steal blinds and antes to keep yourself from blinding out. Okay, and then when you pick up a hand, you got to trap somebody and get it. But you also have to raise enough hands and show a few bluffs to keep yourself balanced so you can get paid when you have a hand. Okay, but overall, there's two ways to play poker. You could play really aggressive, and everybody thinks you're a lunatic, and they're always going to call you down. And if you make hands, you just get paid big amounts. Okay, but it's hard to bluff when you're playing real aggressive. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now, if you play tight and you spend 3 hours not playing any hands when the blinds are really low, and now the blinds go up, and now you get real aggressive, everybody thinks you have it. You see what I'm saying? Now, cash games are about, when you play with certain people all the time.
It's just pots. You just want to win pots, right?
That, but you must also break down your opponent in the first 30 minutes of the game and see how everybody plays. And once you know how they play, you exploit their weaknesses. Now, tournaments is also about exploiting people's weaknesses, but you're always changing tables. You see what I'm saying? Like cash games, you're playing with the same people for 8 hours. Like tournaments, if I'm going to play like on day one of the main and probably nobody's going to go broke, well, then I'm just going to break down their weaknesses. But if you're going to play where you're always switching from table to table to table, you got to do different things. So
okay, well, I want your opinion on this phenomena that I've seen. You're in a cash game. You're not getting cards. And it can actually be somebody else at the table. You're watching it happening to them too.
It doesn't matter how good you play, and if you don't make hands, you ain't gonna win in a cash game. You're just not.
But
you ain't gonna win in a tournament. You ain't gonna win in anything without cards. Just remember that. In tournaments, you could steal enough blinds and antes to keep yourself alive. Okay, and the good players make the good folds, right? So that gives them an extra 3 or 4 bullets. That's the difference between a good player and a bad player. It's an extra 3 fucking bullets. You know what I mean? And that's why I'm so against all the.
I wanted to talk to you about the psychology.
Yeah.
There's a herd psychology at a poker table. When a guy is a bit of a nit and he's not playing a lot of hands, and then especially when he finally gets in the hand and he loses, there's a herd mentality that I've noticed at a poker player on a poker table where the people look and they go, that guy can't win a hand. And then it doesn't matter. The guy has aces. He makes the proper pre-flop bet. And they just come piling in going, that guy can't win a hand.
Yeah.
Right? It's the exact opposite when a guy's taking down hand after hand after hand. Everybody backs off and goes, oh, I'm not going to play him.
Well, yeah. Well, when I get hot in a cash game, I start playing way more hands because everybody's afraid of you. And that's why.
Of course.
That's why
So-
up until 2008, I used to like hit and run, and then when I was stuck, play forever. But then I realized 14 years ago, it's when you're winning, you want to stay forever, and when you're losing, go home and call it a night. Because when you're winning and you're making hands, people are afraid of you. When people are afraid of you, you could fucking do damage.
Have you ever had a night? I remember one specific night that I had, but have you ever had a night where you're making so many bloody hands that you're actually nobody's playing with you and you can't extract any money because people won't play you, and you're going, I just flopped another flush and I couldn't even get anybody to play me.
I mean, it depends. Like when you're fucking winning lots of hands, they're like, oh, he can't have it every time. You know, oh, he can't have it every time. You know.
Oh yeah.
And so.
But you don't get the marginal hands. They just fold the marginal hands. Of course, if they get aces, kings, or queens, they're going to come along for the ride and they're going to attack you. It doesn't matter how hot you are. But they'll you're going to get guys. They're just going to fold queen 10 soon and even.
Well, I mean, like I've noticed some things even in my game. They think I always have it now. So when I'm 3-betting, they're making these big folds. So now I'm just flattening them with aces and kings and 3-betting them with garbage. So. Listen, you just got to make adjustments. When they adjust to you, you adjust to them. Poker's just a cat and mouse game.
It's such a pleasure to play poker, with all that psychology going on.
Right.
Doesn't it feel wonderful when you figure somebody out? You figure them out. They make a move on you, and you just slap their rear end.
Oh yeah,
I just love that. I just love that.
I love it when I call them down for fucking 20,000 with third pair, and I snap call them, and it's like.
Yeah.
And they they go through. Nothing's better than calling them down with a fucking ace high or third pair, and being right. Now I don't do that often, but when I do and I'm right, there's nothing more satisfying. It's like fucking having it's like fucking coming like 10 times in a night. It's the greatest thing ever. All right, man. Have a great weekend, man. Stay safe down there in Mexico.
Okay. Yeah. Nice talking to you. Bye-bye.
All right, guys. In the AFC, I think Buffalo wins. I'm not sure if they cover. I like the under in the game. I like Cincinnati plus the points in an under game, and I like the Chargers. I mean, they're not Chargers, but Jags. All right, everybody. Another week of the Mouthpiece is in the books, and we will see you all next Friday, possibly Saturday, and we'll talk about the semifinals in the NFL and see if Joe Biden's still president in a week from now. I think it's 50-50. We'll see you next week on the Mouthpiece. Have a great weekend, you guys.
The Mouthpiece.